welcome back to my channel. Hello, hi, my name's Angelica, and I'm so sorry if you can hear noises. There is a plethora, and look at me go. There's a bunch of people here today. Guys, today's video, as you can obviously tell by the title, is something super important when it comes to your journey on becoming a medical assistant. The interview is so important, and today we're going to talk about how you can rock that interview, okay? We're going to be going over interview tips, common questions, and key things to focus on today. So tip number one is going to be research your employer. So you're going to want to make sure that you're doing your research on these companies. They put so much information in their job descriptions. I'm going to leave some examples here for you guys on both sides so that you can see. Now it's your turn to go to that website, go to that job description, and do some research. What does the company stand for? What is the company's mission statement? You know they're going to ask you why you want to work here. So you need to get that question to be aligned with their beliefs and their mission statement. Along the same lines is you're going to want to make sure that as you're doing your research, you need to figure out how your relevant experience lines up with this current job. And you're going to go ahead and take that information and look at the job description and see what they're looking for. Are they looking for someone strong in phlebotomy? At your interview, you're going to make sure that you bring that up during your questioning. Bring your related information up. That's the best way that your research is going to help you in the interview. It's going to allow you to use related information that you already know or have experience and apply it into this workforce world. So 40% of companies will not hire people if they know little to nothing about their companies. Y'all, the world's quickest Google search will give you enough information about that company. Let's do our due diligence before we're walking into these interviews. Okay, so let's go over some common questions, y'all. That's tip number two, is be prepared. Be prepared. Practice these interview questions. One of my favorite resources to use, I've applied for jobs all over the place, inside of healthcare, outside of healthcare. Once upon a time, I applied for a couple flight attendant jobs, got some in-person interviews, and when I tell you guys I discovered Glassdoor, this is not sponsored whatsoever, but Glassdoor really helped me figure out what kind of questions they were going to answer during this in-person interview. And most companies are on this website, so people will go in and have these interviews with these huge companies and will leave some of those questions. So I highly recommend checking out Glassdoor. So here are some questions that you may get asked. One of them is, why did you become a medical assistant? Don't give them your entire life story, okay? Keep things private, you guys. Keep things private. You want to give them a beautiful summary of why you want to help people. So difficult patients are always going to be a thing in healthcare and in any field, honestly. So people want to see how you can handle those difficult situations. Be a little bit more personal. How did you react in that? What did you do to solve the problem? What did you do to mediate things? That's what they're looking for when they ask this type of question, is how can you be a team player? How can you fit in here? Next question that you'll probably get is, can you explain your relevant experience in X, Y, and Z field? So let's say you're applying for a heart doctor and they ask you, hey, have you ever done a EKG or had experiences doing EKG? How are you going to respond? Let's use our relevant information, what we learned from our job description, our past history experience. Let's use the things that we already know. You have relevant work experience, you guys. So make sure that you're including that when you're answering these questions and make them personalized. They're not just questions to some random candidate. They're questions to you, and they're questions for you. And they want to see how you can come into their company and be a part of their team and make it better. I'm a huge advocate of like role playing, you guys. So even if you have to stick your camera up in front of your phone and record questions and answers back and forth, if you don't have someone at home that can, you know, practice with you. We already know that we need to do our research. We already know that they're going to ask us questions. Next up is, how are we going to implement relevant experience into those questions and into this interview? So when I was applying to be an office manager, I knew that the relevant experience that would relate to this job was my work experience as a COVID-19 site leader. And I knew that that experience needed to be so detailed and so individualized when I brought it up in conversation, because this is what's going to set me apart from all other candidates. That in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, I was still able to confidently run a COVID testing site, not just one, but two. And I think that that's how you want to sell yourself, is, okay, well, What do you bring to the table? Okay, let me show you. Let me tell you a couple cool things. This is time for you to brag about yourself. So tip number 4, I think, is something that we all just like cover our eyes to, right? And that is going to be soft skills. I'm going to list soft skills on the screen for you guys so that you know what that means to have soft skills. Remember that these soft skills look so different, and every business wants something different, and some roles may consist of more soft skills than necessary. And if someone who's worked in so many different capacities, seeing people who can't critical think or analytically think or communicate properly or conflict resolution, people, like, it shows the way you speak, the way you interact with your doctors. And no one's telling you that you need to be the best at any of these. All we're saying is that you need to have some kind of understanding on what that looks like, because it's so much more than just technical, you guys. You can teach anyone how to stick a needle into someone, okay? But if you cannot confidently and professionally talk to people, if you can't resolve conflicts in office and out of office where they don't affect everyday life, those are some things we need to reevaluate, okay? Tip number 5, and this one has, I think personally, changed the way I interview, and that's asking questions. I have found that when I ask questions in the middle, at the end of the interviews, at the beginning, it doesn't matter, that it does change the ambiance of the room. Oh, you care. Okay, you want to know. You want to be a part of this. The questions I ask are like, what does the patient volume look like? What does the day-to-day for a medical assistant in your office look like? Position currently being filled? Did you lose somebody, or are you in a position now to hire because the numbers are just so high and you need someone, right? Those are the questions that I ask because it gives you a feel of the office. If they're telling you that they have a high turnover rate, that means there's something going on in the office. If they're telling you that this position is vacant because somebody quit, and if it wasn't to move on to better opportunities, like, there's issues. So this is why asking questions is super important. And don't be up in there asking, when do I get paid? What's the employee discount? No. No. Things I also ask are like, what does professional development look like here? What does growth in this company look like? As far as updating certificates and wanting to get certified more, does the company reimburse? Those are important questions to ask, you guys. Like, we don't, like, yes, we're getting paid, but like, you should know if you get health insurance, okay? So 90% of hiring managers say that asking good questions shows that you're serious about this role. So keep that in mind. The next tip I have, number 6, is going to be following up. I do not do this always, because there are some times when you walk out of an interview and you just know that you bombed it. I've been there a time or two, okay? You're not alone. You're not a horrible person. Not every company is a fit, okay? Following up never hurts, okay? Giving the office a call saying, hey, I interviewed. I just wanted to follow up with the hiring manager. If she's available, they're available. Just say, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to interview me. If they've moved on with other applicants and you weren't selected, you can always ask for feedback. Hey, thank you so much for letting me interview. I know you moved on to other applicants. I would love some feedback on how I can improve my interview skills. You guys, that goes a long way. Goes a very long way, okay? So I remember when I was in medical assistant school, they would say, like, send out an email or a thank you note for them taking the time to interview. Post-COVID, that's like not really a thing anymore, and I've noticed that most office managers just aren't really like receptive to those kinds of things. Don't ask me why. Okay, guys, I just wanted to share those few tips and tricks with you. I know I'm constantly on here talking about a new job like every freaking week, right? But I've been so fortunate as a travel medical assistant for so long to interview and be in positions to interview people and to know how that feels. So just know that if you're in a season of your life where you're interviewing, you are not alone. You are not the only person. Specific questions about interviewing or video requests, leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to help you guys with that. It's been so much fun. I am super excited for what's to come on this channel. I have so much fun content coming up. If you guys are interested in seeing me vlog for the entire month of December, let me know down below because there's some really exciting things happening and I don't think you guys are going to be ready for them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're getting ready to go into an interview, let me know down below so we can send some positive vibes your way. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and I'll see you guys next time.